Hey guys, back at it again with another video of my fingers. I did do a poll on my Instagram for what part of my collection you guys would like to see next, and blush definitely won out. So I think the next few videos will be blush, bronzers, highlights, and then I'll do face palettes separately. I did include a couple blush duos in this video because I kind of typically will use blush duos as one anyway. So a couple disclaimers. One, I know I have a large collection. For the most part, I bought almost everything here. So I don't just like declutter to like have crazy wild videos. Like, I like makeup. This is fun for me. I really like blush. I enjoy using different blushes on different days. So I'm not just going to declutter to declutter. If I declutter, I'm gonna only declutter less than 10, I'm fairly certain, just looking over this really quick. And if you guys are interested in seeing like my blushes and all of that stuff, then, oh, also, anything I do not keep, I offer up to family. And then everything else mainly goes to Project Beauty Share. So if you guys are interested in watching this video, then keep on watching. Let's go. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna like start on one side and see how that goes. So the first blush I have here, this is from Honest Beauty. This is in the shade Coral Peach. I really like this blush. It is a cream blush. It kind of like, you kind of have to warm it up for sure. I'm going to try to do as many swatches in this video as I can, so. It is like a really, really pretty shade, and I definitely will be keeping this. I don't really feel the need to go out and buy every shade of it, but I really do like the formula. I have kind of come to learn that when it comes to blush formulas, I really prefer something potted. I think it's a lot easier just to be able to dip my sponge right in and apply it to my face, so this is a keeper. The next one here, actually I think might be a declutter. This is a blush from e.l.f. It's called their Glowy Rose Blush. I'm not a big fan of this specific formula. It's just, it's a little too shiny and pigmented for what I like. I think this would look a lot better on a deeper skin tone than mine. So because of that, I will be decluttering this one. Okay, the next blush here is from Benefit, and this is the Dandelion Blush. It's called a baby pink highlighting face powder, but I've always used it as a blush. This is actually the only Benefit blush I've ever owned. And I mean, it really is like a baby pink shade, but I think it makes a pretty blush topper. I will be keeping it. Next here, we have a Becca Blush. I do believe all of these Becca blushes have been discontinued. This is their mineral blush in the shade Songbird. I really do like the Becca blush formula. I'm kind of hoping maybe that she's coming out with new shades, and that could be the reason why these are discontinued. But yeah, I really like these blushes. I don't know why they're gone. Okay, I've decided I am not gonna really swatch everything anymore because it's getting a little out of hand. So I'm just going to keep talking about blushes. This next one I'm going to declutter. This one is from Shop Miss A. This is actually from the first Shop Miss A haul I ever made on my channel. It's from Muse Cosmetics. It's kind of like a light coral shade. It's not my all-time favorite. It takes a lot of building up, so I think that this is one I'm going to pass along. Next here from Bare Minerals is the shade Sweet Romance. It's kind of like a mid-tone pink. This was my blush that I wore in like high school and college. I've gone through one or two of these. I'm not getting rid of this. I really like it. It's the only loose blush I even own. This is a blush from Catrice. This is their blush box in the shade Glistening Pink. It actually has like wording on the actual blush. I like this formula, but I don't love this formula. Like, there are a lot of products from Catrice that I really, really love. This just isn't one of them, so I actually think I might declutter this one. Next is a newer addition to my blush family. This is the Kaja Bento blush. We have two shades here. We have a more neutrally shade and a more bright red shade. This is the Juicy Watermelon Duo. I am still in the process of testing it out, but I've really been enjoying using it. I know it's very tiny, but I don't use blush, like, I don't go through blush very quickly, so I don't really mind. Next is from Milani, and this is their Romantic Rose Powder Blush. It has the rose emblem in it. This is actually a mini of it that I got for free from Ulta. I really like this. It's probably one of my top products that I own from Milani, so I will be keeping it. Next here is the Maybelline Fit Me blush in the shade Nude. This is actually newer to my collection. This is probably one of the last Fit Me products I've ever tried. I feel like I had tried them all prior, but I really like this. It kind of has a sheen to it when you wear it, and I think it looks really pretty. I like it. I'm gonna grab this one from Essence. This is the Satin Touch Blush in the shade Satin Coral. I really do like this one. I prefer this formula over the Catrice formula. So I think this is a great affordable blush. It does have a slight sheen to it. It's a pretty coral color. I'll be keeping it. One of the last Wet n Wild collections I was actually excited about, the Flights of Fancy. This is the Don't Flutter Yourself blush. This is a very, very pretty glowy blush with that pretty little hummingbird pattern in the middle. I did have 2 of these. I wound up getting rid of one. I really like this shade. I'll be keeping it. This is my Flower Blush Balm in the shade Pinched. I really like the Flower Blush Balms. Like I was saying, I prefer something potted. I feel like it's just faster and easy to use, but I really do like these. They do not build up too quickly, and I think they're really good for beginners. This is what I'm going to be getting. This is the Josie Maran, what is it even called? Color Stick. This is something that my mom had given me that she didn't really like, and I also do not like it, so I'm just going to be getting rid of it. I have this mini Jouer Blush Duo in Rose Gold, and I really like this. This was like one of my favorite products I purchased last year. I like that the duo has 2 very, very different colors. And I forgot to say, anything that I keep that is still available for sale, I will try to link down below. But yeah, I really like these blushes. I like this duo. I'm all about it. This here is the e.l.f. Primer Infused Blush. I have this in the shade Always Rosy. Now, compared to that glowy one, I really, really prefer this. I know they have a glowier version of the Primer Infused blushes, but I really like this matte one a lot. This is one of the only ColourPop pressed blushes I own. This is in the shade, I feel like it was called like My Sun and Stars or something. It was one of the ones that they did in collaboration with Kathleen Lights. I really like this. I mean, it's obviously very bright and intense. It's not really like anything I own, so it's really unique and I really like it. This is from Milani. This is their Cheek Kiss blush. I have this in the shade Nude Flush. This is very similar to the Flower Beauty blush bombs. I even think this shade is very similar to Pinched. I will say that this has more pigment off the bat, but I feel like they blend out to a very, very similar kind of finish. This here is from Ofra, and this is their Chiclet Blush that they did in collaboration with Samantha March. I really, really love this blush. When the collab was first announced, this is probably what I was the most excited for because it looked so unique and different, and I really do like it. I like that it has a glowy, it has a matte, and that you can mix them together, so it's basically 3 blushes in one, and I really like this one. This e.l.f. blush is no longer for sale. This is their Soft Peach Cream Blush. Like I was saying, I really like a good potted blush. I think this is a really good dupe for that Honest Beauty one. However, it's no longer available, unfortunately, but I really like it and I will be keeping it. Here's one that I think I'm gonna get rid of. This is the Ulta Beauty Shimmer Blush. This came in an advent calendar. It doesn't actually say the shade on it, but it's just like a very, 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 like, can you see how glowy that is? It's not really something that I find like that I necessarily need in my collection, so I'm okay decluttering it. Here we have a Tarte blush. Tarte blushes are one of my favorite things in the world. This is the shade Quirky. This is actually the very first Tarte blush I ever tried. Got this in an Ipsy bag. It has like a special place in my heart. It's also like a very unique color. I feel like it's kind of got like a deep coral look to it. These are very long wearing blushes. I really like them. This blush here is from MAC. This is the Mineralized blush in Cosmic Force. I got this from BoxyCharm, and it is my most like nude kind of looking blush, but it looks so beautiful on the skin. It's just absolutely to die for. Like, I feel like it looks like nothing in the pan, but it is just so beautiful. So beautiful. This blush I also got from BoxyCharm. This is the Laura Geller Blush and Brighten in Tropic Hues. It's so, I mean, like, look at that. I've actually tried to find other Laura Geller blushes at like TJ Maxx since getting this because I think this formula is so nice. Haven't really found any, but I really like it. Here we have a CoverGirl Cheekers blush. This is the shade Pretty Peach. I'm not sure if this was discontinued because I did purchase this specific shade at Marshall's. I really like the Cheekers blushes. I think they're a great deal. They're some of the most affordable blushes you can find at the drugstore. I don't like the packaging of it, but I really like the formula. Ooh, one of my new favorite formulas are the MAC Glow Play blushes. This is in the shade So Natural. It's literally like this putty consistency. It kind of performs like a cream, but applies like a powder. It's super unique. I really like it. big fan of this formula. This is one of my oldest blushes. This is the first product I think I ever bought from Makeup Revolution. This is their matte blush in the shade Beloved. I bought this years ago on Tati's recommendation. I liked it then. It's just, I think it's lighter than blushes I use these days. I feel like I was in like a light blush mode back when I bought this. It's been discontinued. Like I can't really like link it ever. I don't know. I don't feel like the desire when I look at this like baby pink bubblegum shade to put it on my cheeks. So I feel like it's a time to declutter. Next is a newer one to me. This is the Burt's Bees Bare Peach Blush. I bought this, I guess, in the springtime. I'd heard Kathleen Light's raving about Toasted Cinnamon for so many years now, I feel like, but I always think that shade would be too dark, and I was so glad that I picked up Bare Peach. This shade is so beautiful. Like, I don't wear a lot of peachy blushes, but I feel like when I wear this, I'm like, why don't I wear more peachy blushes? So I'm really glad I bought this. Okay, here is another one I think I'm going to declutter. This is from Shop Miss A. This is the Aoa Lumi Radiant Blush in the shade Ravish. This is a baked blush. I think it's a really cool glowy formula. I never reach for it, and I feel like it's in perfectly fine condition and that I can pass it along. This here is from the brand Au Naturel, and this is their Creme Multi-Stick in the shade Grapefruit. I know I got this in an Allure Beauty box, and it was like super stiff and hard to use, and like not the kind of cream product I want to be using, so I'm gonna declutter it. Okay, this is the Wet n Wild Color Icon in the shade, what is this shade? Rosé Champagne. I feel like this was a very hyped up blush for a while, and I feel like I just don't super get the hype. Like, I get it's a very affordable blush, but I don't know, I'm okay getting rid of this one, so I'm gonna get rid of it. Here is a Sephora collection blush in the shade Shame on You. I think I might declutter this one. I got this in an advent calendar from Sephora. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but out of most shades, like these baby pink shades, I don't reach for a lot, so I think I'm gonna pass this one along. All right, and here we have my butter blush. I have this in the shade Vintage Rouge. I really like this. Actually, I feel like out of most of the butter products, this is my favorite. I even prefer this formula more than the butter bronzer, which I feel like most people really love the butter bronzer, but I really like the butter blushes. I am happy with this. This is from Bare Minerals. This is their Bounce and Blur in the shade Mauve Sunrise. It's this little tiny sample, but I really like the formula. I like the MAC one better, but it's a very kind of similar texture. This one is very new to me. This is from M Cosmetics, and this is their Serum Blush in the shade Rose Milk. I really like this. It reminds me kind of the Blush Bombs, that like liquidy formula. I think going back and looking now, I would have rather gotten a darker shade. I feel like this one takes a lot of building up because it's such a light color, but I do like the formula. Another blush bomb I have, this is the shade Nectar. This was the first shade I ever bought. Like I've said, I really like this formula. I have this from Doll 10. I got this in an advent calendar. This is their Hydrogel Balm in the shade Dolce. This is another cream blush that I really like. It's kind of that like cool tone-ish mauve color, so I like that. Here is another Tarte blush I have. This is in the shade Party. I got this from Sephora. Like I said, I like the Tarte formula. From Ciate London, I have their Marble Light in the shade Dusk. I got this in a BoxyCharm last year. I do like this. I'll be keeping it. I had the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. I feel like everyone has this. I like this one too. I got from Marshalls. This is the Lorac Spectra blush. This is very pigmented, but when it comes to like a pink blush, I really do like this one. I have the Bare Minerals Gen Nude in the shade That Peach though. I love the Gen Nude blushes. I'm a big fan of them. I think I got this at TJ Maxx. I really like it. Told you guys I really like blush and I wouldn't declutter a lot. From Too Faced, I have their Love Flush blush and I Will Always Love You. I think got this at TJ Maxx. I really like this formula. I think it looks really pretty. It looks like Polly Pockets. I'm keeping it. This is my ColourPop blush sticks. I have this in the shade Hooked. I feel like I talked about this a lot. I really like it. This is the kind of stick formula I enjoy out of all those other products I was saying I don't like. I think this one's a lot creamier. Cream I think I will declutter. This is from the Ulta Beauty brand. This is their Lip and Cheek color in the shade Mauve. It's just, I don't use these little stick things for cheeks, and it's just sitting around, so I'm gonna declutter it. Another Too Faced product I bought at TJ Maxx. This is the Sweethearts blush in the shade Candy Glow. I really like this. It's really unique, and I think it's really pretty and cute, so I'm keeping it. This is an Ofra blush in the shade New Cheer. This came in a holiday set last year, and it's like this pretty glowy, like almost like a duochrome shade. I really like it. Ah, the infamous Orgasm. NARS Orgasm. I have a tiny sample of it. I'm gonna keep that. I have the Knobless Skin Glazing in the shade Truth. I love this. This is probably one of my favorite purchases I've made this year, especially from the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. Like, this was the best purchase I made. An Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale that I think is just okay is the Cover FX Blush Duo. I have this in the shade Warm Honey. I like it, but I don't love it, but I do like it enough to keep it. Another Gen Nude blush I have from Bare Minerals. This is the shade Let's Go Nude. Again, I also got this at TJ Maxx. I said I love this formula. It's just a nice long wearing matte formula. Here we have my ColourPop Super Shock. This is the shade Between the Sheets. I'm still learning how to use this. Some of you guys left me some good tips on my last video, so I'm still working on learning how to properly use this formula. So I'm gonna keep it. Whew, we're down to the last row, guys. All right, this is actually a Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector, but I use it as a blush, so it's gonna stay. This is the shade Rose Gold, so I use it as a blush topper, and it's really pretty. This is my go-to blush in college. This is the Ulta Cheek Color in the shade Adore. I went through a full size of this in college. I'm keeping it. It's like a special blush to me. I have this Wet n Wild blush. This is in their newer packaging, and this is the shade Mellow Wine. I really do like this shade, especially a lot better than that Rosé Champagne shade, so I'll be keeping this one. This is from Shop Mazet. This is their Aoa Perfect Blush in the shade Mod. I really like this formula, so this one I will be keeping. It's more of a cool tone pink, but I really like it. Here we have another CoverGirl Cheekers in Iced Latte. Like I said, I really like this formula. I like this shade, no complaints. This one I think I'm gonna finally declutter. I've had this for a couple years. This is just a blush from e.l.f. It's like $2. I don't even know if it has a shade. It just says blushing on the back. It's again, I don't wear these pinky shades a lot, so I'm gonna declutter it. And last blush here is from Bang Beauty. The shade is called Cheeky. I got this in an Ipsy glam bag a while ago. It's not a highly used blush for me, so you know what? I think I'm ready to say goodbye. To be fair, I think I got rid of more than I actually expected, so let me do some counting and tally everything up. Okay, I did significantly better than I expected. Like, round of applause for me. I kept 46. I decluttered 13. I thought I was gonna have less than 10 and more than 50. So this is a win to me. I get that it's a lot, but you know what? I like makeup. I like playing with makeup. I like using different things on this channel. So I hope you can respect that. Hope you like this video. Let me know if next you wanna do highlighters or bronzers in the comments. And as usual, thanks for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, click the subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I have my Twitter and my Instagram down below. Give them a follow and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.